Hello and welcome to the Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm your host, Nate Washburn. This week the movie is from 1940, The Grapes of Wrath, starring Henry Fonda, Jane Darwell, and John Carradine. It was directed by John Ford and produced by Darrell F. Zanuck at 20th Century-Fox. The Grapes of Wrath is a tough, brutal movie. But as I recently rewatched it, I couldn't help thinking that this movie needs to be seen today. It's pretty timeless. Everything that it deals with, the plight of the workers, police brutality, it's stuff that is sort of mirrored in what is going on in society today. It all takes place in this movie. Grapes of Wrath, it follows the Joad family. They're a sharecropping family that lose their farm in Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl. Tom Joad, played by Henry Fonda, recently paroled from prison. He arrives home just as the family is about to leave on their journey to California, the promised land. They have these handbills that say there's all this farm work, picking fruit. The Joads, they don't have any choice, but they are optimistic. They're hopeful for what they will find. Now, family friend and ex-preacher Casey, he goes along on the trip, and as they travel, it gets harder and harder. And once they arrive in California, they find a much different place than what they expected. Now, Grapes of Wrath was based on the John Steinbeck novel of the same name, which was published in 1939. It's very controversial. It's banned in many places because of the conditions that are described and the plight of the workers and the experiences that they had in these camps and their trips and how these sort of corporations were using and abusing the common man. Now, the performance of the cast is stellar. Henry Fonda, who's a massive star of Hollywood's golden age, gives arguably his greatest performance as Tom Joad. He's this true hero. He stands up for what's right and what he believes in. He's a family man. He doesn't take any shit from anybody. It's Fonda's best. John Carradine plays Casey, who's the ex-preacher who turns into a labor organizer. And he adds just these little levels of humor in his interactions with the Joad family. And then, of course, there's Jane Darwell, who plays Ma Joad, who is she's wonderful. The way that she sort of handles the adversity, the goodbye scene with her and Tom, her final monologue that ends the movie, Jane Darwell gives an incredible, incredible performance. And I gotta mention the director, John Ford. He insisted on a realistic movie. The story is he banned makeup on his actors, so they look dirty and gritty and sweaty. These are conditions that they were experiencing. He didn't want a glossy Hollywood look. He also uses shadows, he uses empty spaces, he uses darkness, and creates it almost a documentary feel to this movie. It is so bleak and so dark, and that's what makes it effective. Now, the budget of the film was $800,000 and it grossed $2.5 million. It was the 9th highest grossing movie released in 1940. It was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor for Henry Fonda, but it only won 2. It won Best Supporting Actress for Jane Darwell, who plays Ma Joad, and it won Best Director for John Ford. Ford would actually go on to win Best Director the following year for his work in How Green Was My Valley. He was the first director in history to win back-to-back Best Directing Oscars, and his grand total of 4, he won 4 Best Directing Oscars in his career. It's the highest ever. So please give a watch to The Grapes of Wrath. It's a great film. It's bleak, it's dark, but yet it's touching. And in 1989, it was one of the first 25 movies to be selected for preservation in the National Film Registry at the Library of Congress. It's an important, important movie. It is this week's Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.